working.
It's fixed. I think we are live, part 2.
Where is it up here?
I brought the IT guys in.
Let's see.
Where am I looking? I gotta send this link to Peace.
Yes, it's live. It's up. People can hear us.
All the other links are back. I'll delete all the other ones prior. Now I feel like we're back.
I'm sitting through a commercial right now. This is nuts.
Yeah, click the link. Click the link.
I just want to put it out there that I can't see Will.
Yeah, on the screen it's everybody but me and Marco.
No, that's the old one. That's the old one.
No, it's not.
You're looking at the old one. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. Give me the new one, bro.
It's the same link.
Where am I going?
Where is my producer? Where is my producer?
Which one? Him?
Yes, click that one. Click that handsome man.
Look.
Hold on. Look. Here.
See right there?
Wait, hold on. On the top.
Bro, find your camera. Stop looking in the screen. Hold it up to the damn camera.
Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Pull your phone down. You have an iPhone? Pull it down. Refresh it. It'll say live on the top corner. Pull it down.
Where?
What is going on with your broken ass phone?
My broken ass phone? No way.
Look.
You blurred your background. It's coming in blurry, you idiot.
It's there. It's there.
Okay. Hold on.
No, that's the other one.
This?
There you are. Yes.
But I look like you can't even see me.
But you want prime time real estate? What's going on here?
You can't see me. Look at your own phone. It's the corner of my...
Why are you flipping out on me now?
You can't see me. Look at your own phone. It's the corner of my...
Hold on. I'll get you correct.
I gotta sit like this. To be seen. No, it's better. It's better. It's still weird. I still look weird. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Okay, there we go. I'm fixing it, okay?
My girlfriend's telling me to calm down. I'm talking about the Giants, so I'm gonna be angry. Alright, now we're good.
We're good.
I'm not center, but I'll deal with it. You know I'm an entertainer. I got all these. I gotta be centered. You know all this stuff. Tim's a lot easier. I'm high maintenance.
Well, if you, I want to hire a producer. I'm just searching.
Forget me. Let's talk about the Giants. Give Tim the floor.
Tim, do you want to start us off while we figure everything out?
See, somebody wrote, okay, Will's camera's too big now. That was before.
All right. Where? And now he disappears.
Why?
Oh my God! This Skype. That's it. Will just got booted off,
but he's here. But he's not.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can't see you though.
What's that about?
I don't know.
I'm not that white.
All right, hold on. See, I was telling Tim yesterday that Howard Stern did an interview with Tom Brady, and they had all the same issues that we're having today.
Oh, because he was doing it from his house?
Yeah, it's not the easiest thing.
Are you?
Skype is all flipping out.
Talk Giants for the fans while you try to get me online. Oh, there I am, kinda.
Yeah.
Now there's a giant Marco. That's one small step for Will. One giant Marco.
Tim, get off your Obama phone. What is that?
How about try Discord? How about try Discord in 5 different things?
Oh my God.
Listen, I'm trying for a reason.
You're like the emperor. It's like you're larger than the thing here. So we're gonna check comments by looking at YouTube
No, I sent you the link.
on the computer.
on Twitter.
All right.
All right. Offensive lineman. Tim, what do you know about offensive linemen?
This is the one thing I actually think me and Will be in agreement upon.
We'll just disappear. Go ahead.
No, I'm back.
Obviously, I find it difficult to believe that Andrew Thomas, who was the top offensive tackle coming out of the, when the season ended, and all of a sudden he's like the fourth best tackle. It makes no sense when nothing happened. So I'm still high on Andrew Thomas, especially the fact he's the only one that's, I think, a true left tackle, and has been playing it for 3 years against SEC, where Willis, he's a right tackle, and Will can be plug and play, and supposedly he's most pro ready, but he is the right tackle. Becton is a monster. My problem is, if he's that big of a monster, why wasn't he considered number one tackle from the beginning? And and Wirfs had a great combine, and I think he could play left tackle, but I don't know, how much history he has playing in it. So Andrew Thomas is still my number one. I'll probably go Wirfs 2, and Willis then Becton. Do you agree with that, Will? Will, do you agree with that?
I mean, no one can see me right now, and it's bugging the crap out of me. So right now, I think Marco is my number 3 favorite person on this podcast. I'd probably rank myself as number 2 at this point, and I got to go with Tim at number 1.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to rank you higher, but I can't even see you on my screen, so.
I think I'm back. So, yeah, I think when it comes to the O tackles, by the way, some people are saying that we're frozen now, but if they can at least hear me. I think with... Are we good to go?
Yeah, we're good. Go.
All right. Yeah, I did some pretty extensive work on those guys, and Tim, I think you're right. I think when a guy is just consensus number 1 for so long, things get boring and people try to look for creative reasons. Hey, you know who you haven't seen? How about this guy? Or how about that guy? Or this guy's not that good. Like Thomas is a 3 or 4 year starter, left tackle, big time program at Georgia. And as I said before, I think he's the best offensive tackle in the draft as of right now. So a lot of it is about development. A lot of it is about tools. And I have to say that I do appreciate that scouts that do this stuff more than I do might know more. And there is something to be said for physical development and things like that. And yeah, Wirfs had like a record-setting combine. But when you look at Andrew Thomas, he's got the best footwork. He's got the best hands. He's got really long arms, disproportionately long arms, disproportionately big hands. Reminds me a little bit of DeBrickshaw Ferguson in that regard. And as Marco knows, I love Thomas's attitude. He always puts a body on somebody. He's always looking to block people. So I think as of right now, he's your best guy. Some people say, yeah, but he's peaking right now. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm seeing some more love for him lately. I feel like he dipped like a month ago, and then all of a sudden people are coming back to him. Wirfs, the interesting thing about Wirfs is combine. He was supposed to be this huge, strong guy, yet his power numbers, like on the bench, he put up like 23 reps, which I was expecting like 40. Yet he had all these amazing agility records that he set. So that really threw me for a loop. I think Becton is probably my number 4. I think size, the attractive thing there. He ran a good 40. What had to translate into play. When you watch him play, I think Will's and Works are kind of right there. So yeah, I'd probably go Thomas 1, maybe Wills 2, Works 3, and Beck 4. I'm not too concerned with who plays left or right side because I think the reason that Works and Wills played that side was because that the quarterback was lefty, so they were playing right side. So I think they might both have experience playing the left side. So that's actually I sent you the my scouting report there on those guys. Marco, a couple days ago, right?
Yeah.
Trying to find some of that there. Anyway, how are we doing technically? Good.
So far, so good.
But that's what I had to say. Thomas, I said overall, I think he's a reliable starter for a long time. He may never be a dominant beast, but he's a dependable protector quarterback, consistently securing goals for running backs. Will's my son brings good footwork. I have him down as a very good blocker. I know some people say he needs more work. I think he needs more getting spots. He can play a little lower, but I think he'd be a solid starter immediately. Anyway, I don't worry with the rest of the stuff. I'm rambling a little bit here. Worse, he doesn't always put a hat on someone. People say, they play a zone or whatever. But if you play football, if you're on the offensive line, you could always put your hands on somebody. I feel like he's very much like, well, that's not my jurisdiction. That's not my guy. I'm not going to get it. Whereas Thomas is just like, there's a guy I'm bury. You know what I mean? So, what do you got, Marco?
I'm working in the background. Hold on. It's you and Tim right now.
You're on the square right now.
I'm totally with you, Will. I'm an offensive lineman. As far I don't really have if we drafted any of them, I wouldn't be mad.
I agree. I agree with that because if the Giant scouts see something in Will or something in Beck that they know more than we do, that's fine. I'd be fine with all of them, but I'm not liking Thomas hate right now.
But the one thing because there is 4 of them. That's why we have to trade back.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to we have to take 1 and 4 when we have a choice of the 4 if we just stay in the top 10.
I mean, if you're not going to go after a specific player, and they're just like if they are in fact going to go offensive line, then it makes all the sense in the world to trade back. Because depending on who you trade back with, like, you might not even lose anyone. If you trade back 1 spot with Miami or 2 with San Diego and those guys take quarterbacks, you're literally just gaining a mid-round pick for absolutely no charge. Right?
100%. Yep.
If you trade back in theory with Miami and they give you their number 56 to move up 1 spot, you just gained a 56 and they're going to take 2 or Herbert, so you lose nothing. So, or if you want to be more sort of drastic with it, you could trade back to the 9 or something like that. Maybe get your offensive tackle number 2 of choice, and choice number 2 rather, and then pick up a draft pick. I don't know. Besides those 2 teams though, the Chargers and Dolphins. I mean, who would you most want to trade back with?
I would say Chargers.
Yeah, stay as high as possible.
I would say Chargers because I think Miami's taking a quarterback regardless.
Nice.
And you know what? You'll get more from the Chargers because they got to go up 2 spots.
Right.
But like you said, I don't think you're going to lose a whole lot. Honestly, you might be in the same damn position, mattering if someone trades up with you to get the quarterback, the Miami goes quarterback, then you're pretty much in the same exact position of where you were, and you can still probably trade back again, having Simmons and like possibly Simmons, Okudah, or Brown being options.
Mm-hmm.
Are we all in agreement that we want them ultimately to trade back and take an offensive lineman in the top 10?
No.
I would. Let's put it this way: let's say they trade back, and you still have. I saw Bucky Brooks mock today. He had Derek Brown going to Detroit at 3.
Right.
So let's say we trade back quarterback. You still got Okudah and Simmons, along with all the offensive lineman choice, what would you go?
O-line.
O-line still just, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I mean, it'd definitely be tempting having Simmons or Okudah.
Not Okudah for me, man. I wouldn't touch. I mean, I've talked to Marco about this. I wouldn't touch the Giants secondary until the fourth round. Like they've got Bradbury, who is solid. They've got Peppers, who I think is solid, and then you've got DeAndre Baker, who had a rough year last year, but he was still the first DB back the board. You traded up in the first round. You have to give him at least one more year to prove himself. So that's their other defensive back. And then for the safety, you're talking about Julian Love looked decent there when he played there at the end of the year. You're talking about potentially whether it's Beal or Valentine, not as high ceiling guys. But I think I'm comfortable with finding out who Love and DeAndre Baker are. I'm not comfortable leaving the offensive line and the edge the way it is because you know what you have, and it's not good enough. So I think you've got young talent in the secondary. Address it later, but I don't care Okudah this or that. If you had Okudah and you have no pass rush, if the quarterback has enough time, Okudah's got to get open. You can't ask guys to cover in the league where the quarterback runs around for 10 seconds. You just can't ask them to cover for that long. And, the offensive line, you need like three offensive linemen. So, I don't know. I wouldn't touch the defensive backfield unless it's an unbelievable, unless you're drafted at 36 and Okudah's there for some reason or something crazy happens. But that's just me personally. I think they got too many holes.
The funny thing is, Will, you said the same thing I said to Marco last night. Is we put so much draft capital in the defensive backfield last year. Why we can continue to do that?
Right.
And I'm a big Baker guy. I think DeAndre Baker is going to make a comeback. I was a big fan of his going into the draft last year. I mean, I think they just didn't use him right. He's got to be the man-to-man corner that should be playing man-to-man at all times, not this, part zone, part man crap that Becker was playing.
But how many times do you have three solid corners out there?
True. But you said we'd have Baker. Sam Beal played well at the end of his last few games.
What was that? How many games does he have in total played? Is that 3?
Oh, games. But you know what? He played well like the last one.
Do we have an echo going right now?
No.
You sure?
I know, yeah.
Because when I put it on YouTube, I'm hearing crazy. I don't know, maybe it's just me.
Not that I know, but I would be, possibly would take Simmons. But from what I'm seeing, from what Gettleman was saying, I think it's literally going to be offensive tackle first round, and you're going to go center in the second round.
Then just not address the defense until 99.
It was trade back. It would be one of those picks. Hopefully, maybe an extra second round, maybe an extra third.
They're not going to trade back.
You don't think they're going to trade back?
I think it goes against Gettleman. I think it's just not in blood.
He's going to be on his instant messenger. He's going to.
Someone's going to pick up. His wife's going to pick up the phone, knock him off AOL, and we're going to miss the pick.
He's big DG at AOL.com is going to be. It's going to be already.
You listened to it. It sounded good to you, Marco?
Yeah, everything sounds good. Your Skype screen keeps on jumping in and out, but other than that, everything's pretty good.
All right, cool. Oh yeah, I'm on both sides of the page right now.
You're jumping in and out. But
nah, this guy Connor says yes, there's an echo.
Yeah, because when you played it, it showed up. I just listened. Okay.
All right, take us there, Marco. Where are we at now?
All right. It's about time that the Giants actually have to address their defensive issues that they have. Last year, we had a shitty O-line. We were still able to score points. True or not true?
Yeah, we scored.
When was the last time that the Giants actually won because of the defensive stop? Or because their defensive played so well, we actually got a victory?
Super Bowl 42.
Hasn't happened in a long time. And speaking about Super Bowl 42, we had guys going at it consistently. They were doing a weird, they had this weird ritual that they would do where they would take the quarterback and put him on the floor. I don't know what that's called.
No, I haven't said that. It used to be a term for that. I haven't said that in many years. I think it's a scrotum.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Is it a scrotum?
I kind of liked it.
A sack, maybe?
And all the Giants fans talk about how one of our players almost had a sack. I would like the player to actually have a sack.
Yeah, in more ways than one, dude.
Right. I think we have to go defense. And if it's trade down and get defense, I'm okay with that.
The danger that I see is this, right? If you take Simmons at 4 or wherever they trade, whatever, and then you get to 36, and you're looking at like the 6th or 7th offensive tackle or a top 2 center, where do you go with that pick?
I say center.
Marco?
Sorry, repeat that. I was looking at something.
You take Simmons at 4. You get to 36. The top 6 offensive tackles are off the board. You're now picking the number 7 offensive tackle or the number 1 or 2 center. What do you do?
Center.
Right, and you both said that, and I might even say that too. And so the danger in that is that you are now, again, not addressing your tackles. And you need 2 of them, and they are probably more important than your center. So that's the danger. If you take the tackle with your first pick, you can just rest. You can just relax. You don't have the anxiety anymore. You took a tackle. He's going to be there for a while. He's the number 1 tackle in the draft, according to you. And now you can find guys on defense. Maybe you get a Murray. Maybe you get a Queen. Maybe you get a Baun. Maybe you get YGM if you're lucky. Maybe you want to go with a safety in the 2nd round or a linebacker or a defensive, an edge player or whatever. Gettleman wants to take 6, interior defensive linemen. But if you just hold on to that offensive tackle at 4 or 5 or 6, wherever they're going to draft, you can just kind of forget about it and then pick another one up late in the draft. Maybe take a chance on somebody like Trey Adams, who was like the number 1 guy last year. Then he had back surgery. You take him in the 6th round, 7th round, and see what happens. But if you don't take a tackle with your first pick and you get Simmons or you get Okudah or whatever it is, then when you get to 36, you're in danger of going. It's that shitty feeling of, all right, I guess I'll take Austin Jackson and just cross my fingers. I guess I'll take, Lucas Niang and then cross my fingers. Like, that's just such a shitty feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I agree.
I hear you. But you could wind up reaching for a guy who you think is going to be tackle and miss and wind up with another Eric Flowers situation in your hand who has to be moved to another team.
So you should just never draft the top tackle? So because of that theory, you should take a second-rate tackle? What if you miss on him? Like, what are you talking about?
But at least you would hopefully, if you're a good GM, be able to see that defense was the issue and that we could get a tackle later on.
And what would you draft, number 4? What if you miss on that guy on defense? You could always miss.
I know you could always miss, but I think taking a tackle so high and missing on him is tough to recover from.
Do you know what the number 1 position is that all the scouts say is the easiest to translate to see how they're going to do from college to the pros? Easiest, the most bankable position. What would you think it is?
The most bankable
offensive lineman.
I'm going to say left tackle.
No. Edge. Edge. They say it's pretty simple to see. Like, if you're a dominant offensive tackle in college, you might not be a dominant offensive tackle in the pros. Quarterback, we've seen a million of those. But they pretty much say the easiest one with like 80, 90% accuracy is if you're a nasty edge in college, you're probably going to be a nasty edge in the pros. Because it's kind of a very specific job skill right? I mean, it's a couple moves off the edge. There's not a ton of different things to worry about, schemes to learn. You're just coming off the edge as hard as you can, beating one man, you know?
Just get the quarterback.
Get the quarterback. Yeah. So let's talk about Chase Young, just so I don't jump off a roof.
You want to talk about Chase Young?
You know what it is?
He's going to be a Redskin.
How are you going to feel when we're playing him twice a year and he's torching our tackle that we just took?
That's okay. At least we have Josh Allen. Oh, wait, no, they didn't take him either because they got Daniel Jones at 6 when they could have got him at 117. So, sorry, my boys are hitting me up. My boy's like, sorry, I'm not watching the podcast. I'm watching a movie with my girlfriend. So
little quarantine love.
So listen, I want to talk about Chase Young because after the draft, right? We won't even be able to hope anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just be disgusted and annoyed and pissed off for like a year until next year's draft when we get teased by another prospect. So in these next 2 weeks or whatever it is, let's just talk a little bit about what the possibility, how it could happen. Could the Redskins take Tua? Could someone trade up with Detroit? Could Detroit take Simmons? I've heard there's interest there. Is there any way, Tim, help me out. I went from there's no way to just, I know there's no way, but someone just lie to me. You know what I'm saying?
Unless there's the run on the quarterbacks, that's the only chance you got. If Washington pulls something and goes Tua and someone trades up to get Herbert because they're scared Miami's going to do it, that's the only way Chase Young makes it.
Would you trade 4 and 36 for 2?
No.
No way.
I asked this on Twitter. I got a 50-50 response.
Oh, the people on Twitter are out of their mind.
Easy.
Now, here's the thing, though. We're going to get an impact player. It's not like we had pick, 32 in the first round. So we're going to get an impact player, whoever it is, in theory. So if you go up to 2 and you give away your second round pick as well, and let's say Young busts and he's just not that good, then what? Now we're screwed.
If you get Young and he busts, then just be like, all right, that's fine. It's such a travesty. We suck for 3 more years. Like, you just get I don't know. I don't know if I would do it either. I got a couple fans. I got a friend of mine. He says that he would get coronavirus in order to get Chase Young. He's like, I trust my.
Here's the thing, and I'm not
does
putting
he
down
have
Chase Young at all.
Does he have any pre-existing conditions?
Other than giantitis, no.
No. Okay, he's okay.
Now, I want Chase Young. Don't get me wrong, but I did see him play in those playoff games. He was not showing up on every play.
No, he was triple teamed on some of them. He did cause havoc, but 2 things. One, when you look at the numbers, there's just simply no denying it. 16 and a half sacks in 9 or 10 games. And I do my little math here, my little system. I don't know if I did it. I think I might've done it for you guys last time. It's tackles for a loss plus sacks per game. And then I look at your level of competition, right? His tackles for a loss plus sacks per game. For you, the average for these guys, Bosa was like a 1.5. Cleveland Farrell, these guys were like high 1 point somethings last year. He's at a 3.13. I've never seen that before. Over 3 sacks plus tackles for loss per game this last season. And his level of competition, Ohio State's strength of schedule, was number 1 in the country. So like the next closest guy was Weaver and Hightower and Grenard. Those guys were in the high 2s. And they play a much weaker schedule. Although my boy Grenard, my new crush in the draft, for like if he could fall to the 3rd round, he played against the 10th best schedule in football this year and put those numbers up. But I think Chase Young is that legit. You know what it is, Tim? I love the pass rush in football more than anything in any sport. There's nothing that makes me happier than when it's just a jailbreak and your guys are just coming for the quarterback. Like, remember in 2007, or the way they used to get after Romo?
Oh, yeah, we were discussing that Super Bowl 42.
Exactly.
And how nice it was to see OC,
boom,
Tuck.
Boom, boom. And we just don't get that. And the fact that I'm still scarred from passing on Josh Allen last year. And I still would rather have that. And the fact that Chase Young, it's like so close, it's just such a tease. And the stupid Giants fans were rooting for them. I get on fights on Twitter because Giants fans are like, I'm still glad we won those last games for Eli, blah, blah. Like, I can't believe it. I don't know. I missed that, and I don't see that happening now. But you want so you want offensive lineman at 4 or a trade back an offensive lineman, Tim?
I'm an offensive lineman guy. I would love to actually be like, you know what, our offensive line is good, and we don't have to worry about it. Whatever coming the next 4 or 5 years, well, even like the next 3, just being like, you know what, we're good.
Yeah. And
might
then
get
Mark,
one for depth.
where are you at?
I still think we go defense. We have to. It just blows my mind that we suck at defense. It's just like it goes against the heartstrings of a Giants fan.
It does.
To be.
It does. Yep.
I wouldn't be upset. I won't be upset as long as Gettleman does something competent. Like if he takes Simmons or an offensive tackle, I'd be okay. He just scares me. I'm telling you that he's going to go like they're going to be like with the number 4 pick in the 2020 NFL draft, the New York Giants select T. Higgins, wide receiver. Like I'm expecting something like that from him. I just don't trust him. Or, Kinlaw, whatever his name is. Or, Boysenberry, the center.
Wasn't it Crunchberry?
No, I thought it was. Yeah, it's Cushionberry, but what I said, Frankenberry, I was calling.
Oh man, I don't know. I have so much uncertainty about the draft because of Gettleman, and just you never know what he's gonna do. I mean, no one's helping this poor guy out. He has a motion on his desk and multiple pictures. We know
it's
because
he's an old man. He just doesn't care.
He's gonna have his. But let me ask you this though. That's funny. I was a little distracted. I just got you. That's cool. Tim, let me ask you this because I was bringing this up with Marco. The 2 main Gettleman motivations. 1, he can't resist a shiny new toy, right? Making a splash. Daniel Jones, what quarterback? Talk of the draft. Saquon Barkley, what? Talk of the draft. So, does Gettleman pull that card, the shiny new toy, the talk of the draft, and take Isaiah Simmons? Or does Gettleman do I drafted Jones, my job is always going to be linked to him, he is my future, I have to protect him with an offensive tackle? Which of those two, they're like unstoppable forces. Like, which of those wins out?
Well, here's the thing: is I really think, and I really hope, I think Joe Judge is a really big part of this process. I think he's getting players he wants. That's
probably going to be Simmons because he seems like a Simmons kind of guy, right? Athletes all over the field, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Dude, people on Twitter are starting to say that Simmons is like equal to or better than Young. Like the Simmons love is out of control. I am of the belief, and it sounds like I'm coming down hard on him. I've been harder on Simmons than anybody, not because I don't like him, but because I think everyone's losing their mind over this guy. Mm-hmm. I have him ranked around number 10 in this draft. I have a couple receivers ahead of him. I have 1 or 2 linemen maybe ahead of him. I think, a running back. I got a couple quarterbacks. I've got edges. Like, I think he's an unbelievable athlete and a very good football player, but you can't truly understand what his value is going to be necessarily right now. I think it's a big risk. Not a big risk. That's the wrong way to put it. I think he's going to do good things, but I don't know that you can truly quantify what he's going to be. Do you feel me at all? Do you think he's being overhyped a little bit? Tim?
I could definitely think the whole overhypeness, I could definitely see that a little bit. You know how Giants fans are. Like, I was literally looking at Giants Twitter today, and I'm like, this is the most negative fan base I've ever been around in my life. Everything's, sky's falling. If we miss on our first round pick, we're gonna, the rest of the draft doesn't mean shit.
Right.
As far as I'm with, just because I'm as a Giants fan, I love defense, and you guys know, we're all like that.
Yep.
I would love to see Giants go defense. I really don't give a shit what position. as long as our defense gets back to being good.
Right.
But the offensive line needs to get better, and we're in a prime position to do that, especially with the amount of depth of tackles in this draft, along with the depth of like centers as well. There's probably about 4 or 5 centers that could be, plug-in starters.
I would love to come out of this draft with a center.
This GM was supposed to, bring in all the hog mollies, and we were going to get a quick fix on the offensive line. And 3 years later, offensive line still sucks, and our defense sucks. We fired the prior GM, who actually had things turning around a little bit, going back to glory, had him in the playoffs. Then he had an injury-riddled year.
Reese didn't do shit. Here's
you
my problem.
Gotta be kidding me.
Here's my problem with Reese.
Tim, he had them in the playoffs the year before. The next year, multiple injuries, multiple starters. And he fired.
How many Reese draft picks are still in the league? It should be.
He was drafting he won 2 Super Bowls. He was drafting then.
Again, I'm gonna say that I said this.
It was Accorsi. It was all Accorsi.
It was mostly Accorsi's players that were in the 2007 Super Bowl.
Nah, man, Reese. I'll always respect Reese, even though it was his time to go. Because if you look at the 2007 season, Steve Smith, huge contributor, rookie. Ahmad Bradshaw, huge contributor, rookie. Kevin Boss, huge contributor, rookie. Jay Alford, big contributor.
That draft class was amazing. That first draft class was good. But name another one that was good.
JPP.
And then who else?
You said name another ones. I think that conversation's over now.
I said another draft class. Well, like Reese, I'll give him this. First round picks, he was pretty solid on.
Yeah, he only
after that
one.
He never did crap with late round picks.
Well, the Giants haven't.
Yes. What are you talking about? Ahmad Bradshaw was a late round, 7th round pick. He was.
That was that first draft, and I give him credit. That draft was amazing. Everybody was a contributor on that first draft he had. That it was horrible.
Hitting undrafted free agents time after time. Cruz.
Which, technically that's scouts, but whatever. Which technically is Gettleman, but whatever.
Yo, by the way, before I forget this, I'm watching Super Bowl 42 this weekend. Mm-hmm. They showed it, and I'm watching with my girlfriend, and she's trying to humor me. I'm trying to get her involved a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm like, watch the fourth quarter with me, and then I'm doing where are they now stuff, and it's interesting, who this guy, that guy's a coach now. This guy, that's Michael Strahan from this TV show, right? I'm trying to make it relatable. And then they show Plaxico, and I go, oh, see that guy? Yeah. I said, he ended up shooting himself. She goes, oh, is that JPP? I go, no, he blew himself up. I'm saying, what's happening to the Giants when that's a conversation I'm having? He shot himself. Oh, is that JPP? No, he's the guy who blew himself up.
It's true, man.
When did the Giants become the Jets?
Oh, that damn Plexico.
Man, it's sad, though, because then they showed Junior Seau, and I said, see that guy? And I told what happened to him. It's unfortunate, man. And then they showed Kraft, and I was telling what happened to him. It's a lot of, boy. But anyway.
Likes the massage parlors. What do you
say? He had a happy ending. What are you talking about?
He has the same lotion as Dave Gettleman. What do you?
Speaking of happy endings, what's going to happen to Belichick's career and Kraft? I mean, are the Patriots they're going to draft a quarterback? I mean, we're talking Giants here, but are they going to move up? Or what?
We were just doing that last night. I asked him. Yeah. We were trying to figure out the quarterback carousel and how that's going to affect us. And I was like, where's Cam going? Where's Winston going? Anyone going to wind up with the Patriots? Or the Patriots going to draft up? And it's a huge question mark. Is he going to stick with what he got? I don't think so.
I mean, could you see them doing a year with who's their quarterback?
Stidman. Yep.
Yeah. Do you see them doing a year where they just tank?
I think most people think they're going to go Jordan Love style.
Yeah, that's
who I think's kind of underrated. It's Jalen Hurts.
They said there's a lot of teams that interviewed him. I was just watching NFL Network tonight. They were saying a lot of teams were looking into Jalen Hurts.
He's one of those guys
who be backup.
I don't know, man. I mean, he could be just one of those guys who kind of just wins, kind of just gets it done. He's had huge games, never really buckled. He's always played pretty well. The stats are pretty impressive. The pedigree's pretty impressive. The wins are pretty impressive. Like, you know, but no reason for us to talk quarterbacks here. I think we're talking Giants. And right now I was angry about all the Simmons love when I put together my latest big board. So I dropped him down to number 12 just to make a point. So I got Chase Young at 1.
Don't be spiting Isaiah because you're mad at him.
I got Chase Young.
Let me hear your bias board. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Chase Young,
your spite board.
Chase Young 1, Joe Burrow 2, Derek Brown 3, Jeff Okudah 4. I got Tua 5. I got Jerry Jeudy at 6. I got CeeDee Lamb at 7. Then I go Thomas Wills. Then I go DeAndre Swift and Wirfs. Then I go Isaiah Simones. Then I go Henry Ruggs, Kinlaw, and then McKinney. And then I got my edges. I got Zach Baun at 17. I got Gross Matos at 22. And my boy Jonathan Grenard, edge number 4. Boom.
Oh my God.
That's dude. You never know what happens. Look at Cleveland Farrell.
You gotta put some respect on his name.
Put some respect on his name.
I have a DeAndre Swift up that high.
What's up?
You have DeAndre Swift up that high?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I needed someone to go in front of Isaiah Simmons.
And you think you think Brown is the second best defensive player in the draft?
Yeah, I don't know. I know a lot about the linemen and a lot about. Was that?
Brown was going to be a top. He was going to be a top 5 pick last year. He's played just as good.
Admittedly, I am very Giants specific. So I do a lot of scouting on edge. I do a lot of scouting on offensive tackle, and I know a decent amount about the wide receivers. But other than that, I'm kind of just very, my knowledge base is sort of just average. So I was reading up on different people, what people say about them and stuff. But let me ask you this, Tim, who do you trust out there? Who's an NFL mind that you took? I mean, is it Daniel Jeremiah? Is there anybody we should kind of look out for that it's like, oh, this guy's pretty good?
You know what? Usually I did like Jeremiah as far as the guys that I trusted to look at. But his mock draft was all over the place this past time, and I just don't see it. And maybe I'm totally wrong. Obviously he has more information than I got.
Right.
But the one guy who pissed me off, well, we can't use him anymore. Mayock is the one I trusted the most.
Yeah.
Mayock was on top of it.
How do you guys feel about the ESPN boys? Kuiper and what's his face?
Nah,
I think McShay's in depression mode. The dude's got he's got like a fatter face now. He's very negative. He used to be way more positive in the days. And Mel I can't trust because there's rumors back in the day that he used to get paid money to pump up people so they get better draft position.
DeAndre Swift is not better than Isaiah Simmons. Connor, just let me be biased. Young was quiet in the last 3 games. I don't know, man. I think
he was doing a spite board.
Yeah.
No, but realistically, before all that went down, I think I had Simmons at like 7. I just feel like he is about a number 10 player. I do. I think he's a good player who will improve a team's defense. I would love to have him on the Giants. I'm just a bit of a contrarian. And when I see people going, oh, my God, he's going to change the game. He can play 12 positions. We might get too many men on the field if he's out there because the ref's going to feel like he's playing 12 positions. He's unbelievable. Did you hear about him? He jumped over a building and he saved a cat from a tree. It was on fire. I'm just like, guys, he's a great athlete and he's good. He's good in coverage. He's not perfect. He's okay against the run. Guys get in on him. He's 6'4". He's top heavy. If you watch him, there's a couple plays where he's getting blocked off the ball easily. So yes, his highlight reel is amazing, but I just don't know that you can quantify what he's going to mean for your defense. I think it will depend a little bit. Is he going to be Troy Polamalu plus inches and pounds? I don't know. Could he be? Yes. But I just want everyone to calm their ass a little bit. And that's why I put him
let me just tell you, full bloom love, okay? That's what it is.
Tim, hit me. Am I being irrational?
One thing that definitely makes it difficult is
full bloom love.
We're going to be playing.
Yeah, Tim, we're 4-3. We're playing 3-4. Sorry,
we're playing 3-4, but you know how that goes. And supposedly, Graham plays multiple sets, so who knows? You know what ends up, you know what's it going to. You know, Derek Brown might be our draft pick.
Oh my God.
Get out the lotion, buddies. Get out the lotion for that.
Let me tell you something else. I've played a fair amount of sports as a college athlete, and I've been on teams before where it's like coaches, or I've seen other teams too, right? Where coaches go, this guy's so special that we have to let him do his thing, and we have to adjust our game plan to really highlight this guy. Mm-hmm. You know what ends up happening? It ends up screwing your team and hurting you more than it helps. Because you're trying to be too fancy. The other players then have to adjust and change their assignments. Oh, is Simmons going to be a safety here? Okay, now he's blitzing, so that guy's got to move over. Okay, am I in coverage? He's going to roam here, so now we got to pick up the back end. I'm just not 100% sold that it's going to work. And for these reasons, I have him number 12.
This is why we pick smart football players. Okay, they have to be smart.
Don't do the Boston accent, or I'm going to kick your ass up to freaking Southie. I've watched enough Good Will Hunting lately. I watched Rudy. I cried. I watched the Giants Super Bowl. I cried. I've been doing a lot of crying lately. I saw a picture of Gettleman in his basement. I cried.
Oh my God, this is worse. Why am I tortured with?
Let me ask you this. I need to hear this from you, Marco, because otherwise we can't be friends.
Okay.
If Chase Young and Isaiah Simmons are both there at 4, by the grace of God, would you in any way even consider, well, maybe we should think about this for a second?
No.
Are you you can tell me the truth?
No. I take Chase Young.
Okay. Yeah, just want to make sure. Because people are starting to go a little apeshit.
No. I would still take Chase Young. Okay. I value an edge rusher over a linebacker. I believe in positional value.
Well, that's a question I want to ask you guys now, right? Our linebackers, we have like 15 million of them, but are they the right guys? Right? Yeah, we got Mayo and Connolly. We got Holy Mackerel and we got Mayo, Mackerel, Connolly, and who's the other guy we got? Tino
Martinez.
Connor.
Not Connor. I did that yesterday too.
Connolly
and Collins.
And Mayo.
Not Collins.
Collins. Talking about
Carter.
Yeah, Carter. Jimenez.
Yeah, but those guys are like the outside backers, right? So who do we feel good about covering out of the backfield? Covering tight ends.
It's probably Simmons. I would think he would be the best.
No, I'm saying that's on the Giants, you idiot.
Oh, sorry. I was projecting.
Yeah, you were projecting.
It just matters on Conley. If he comes back healthy, knock on wood.
Oh, Tim,
I would have a problem with covering.
Tim, he's like icing. He played 4 games. We don't know what he is.
Why is he like icing? Because he's white, you racist?
Yes, exactly.
So you want icing and Mayo back there?
Because we had exactly.
Who else is next? Who's next? Whipped cream?
No, he's like the icing on the cake. He's something that could be like really good, but we don't know what the hell it is. It might be lemon. It might be lemon icing. No one likes it.
Now hold up. Some people were saying that Jabril Peppers should play linebacker, which I just think would be amazing because you'd have Mayo and Peppers right next to each other, and that just sounds delicious.
Yeah.
All right. We bring back Pepper Johnson as a coach. I mean, it's all coming together, guys.
Yeah. 2 Peppers and Mayo.
Yeah, that sounds like 2 Peppers, 1 Mayo. Listen, if the Giants, let's do some scenarios. If the Giants take an offensive tackle, who do you hope it is at 4? Tim, Thomas,
all day.
Marco, who's your
Agreed.
team? Thomas. Okay, if that happens, who do you hope to see realistically at 36? Would you rather have Ruiz or Baun at 36?
Baun. If we went tackle, I would.
Correct. Tim?
If we want tackle, because there's a chance that some of these centers might drop to the third. So yeah, you go Baun.
Okay. Now, what about Baun's test? Let's talk about this. He had a watered-down urine sample. Explain this to me. What's happening here? He's trying to get rid of something that he did. What is this?
Sometimes how it goes.
I don't know how it goes. Tell me how it goes.
You pump people. You know how it goes.
I have no idea what's going on.
He smoked some weed, watered it down. The new CBA, he doesn't have a strike against him, so he's all good. You don't even suspend for weed anyway.
Yo, Stanley Albert Jr. What's up, bro? I will mess with the hybrids because I just don't. We're not. It's not a decathlon. It's a football game. I don't care how high Dick Butkus could jump. I don't care how far Ray Lewis could do could pirouette. I want to see what they can do on the field. So Isaiah Simmons running a 2.740 doesn't mean anything to me. He's a pretty good football player. I'm just a little worried about how it's going to work out if he goes in the Giants. Exactly what's going to happen. I'd love to have him. But he's not infallible. He's not the definite answer. He could be, but everyone's just got to chill a little bit. There's a little bit of a risk factor that no one's talking about. Anyway, so you think he smoked pot?
Yeah, I
drank a ton of water.
Whatever it was, he did something.
But if he's smoking, if he's an idiot enough to smoke pot before the combine, I'm not so sure I want this guy. Sounds like the kind of guy's going to shoot himself in a nightclub.
You know what? We strayed away from the pot people too many times. We could have had Larry. We could have had Tunzel. We could have.
Was he the guy with the mask?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was watching the.
It's my favorite player.
Some old, now that there's no live sports, all these people are getting nostalgic. You've seen all these things. You can only take 3 of these players. Who would you take, right? You've seen it on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, if you could have one quarterback from Giants history, one receiver from Giants history, and one running back from Giants history in their prime, who would you have? And I went Phil Simms over Eli. I just did. And I went
You're not the only one that would do that.
All right. And I went Saquon, even though it's early. I just think, that's what he's going to be. And then receivers came along. And I saw Toomer and of course they didn't put anything about Beckham in there. I saw Toomer and Plax and Nix and Cruz. Mm-hmm. And I was really having a tough time with it. And I thought in their prime, and I took Hakeem Nicks.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, Nix in his prime was unstoppable. That's the reason Cruz was open.
Guys, I've never seen a guy fall off the cliff so hard, and I think I don't know. I feel like it's because he just smoked pot or something. I feel like he just lost the will to be in the NFL. There's no injuries.
Let me tell you the correct answers for those. It is Eli
Hostetler.
Brown. No, it's Eli, Saquon, and Plax. That's the story.
Fine.
I would say definitely. I would say Eli. You almost gotta go Saquon. Everybody else was running back by committee.
Well, they had Hampton, they had Jacobs, they had Bradshaw, they had Tiki Barber. Tiki Barber has been the best Giants running back of all time at this point.
Yeah, but I just remember the fumbling years.
Yeah,
before
he also
started carrying like a band leader.
Right.
Yeah.
His first 3 years compared to Saquon's first 3 years, he was slow to get there.
Two.
Yeah, well,
easy. We only got 2 more years left. Don't burn him on Saquon, okay?
Oh God!
Don't call it his 3rd year.
Oh my God! Here we go.
And who's your receiver, Tim?
I think you gotta go Nix. When Nix was in his prime, he was unstoppable. It was honestly the whole reason Cruz was open half the time he was.
Yeah.
Because everybody was double teaming Nix.
Nix was a top 5 receiver in the NFL when he was 24 years old, and then he was out of the league at 27, and I still don't know what happened. One day they were just like, he didn't make the Giants.
Yeah. He had ankle injury. He never got fixed right, and it just
never recovered.
His eyes just always looked glazed over to me, man. I just feel like he was just one of those guys. I heard he just tried out for the XFL before they got bankrupt. I mean, God, how do you do that, man? But anyway,
Do you guys remember how much of a matchup nightmare Plaxico was? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You remember Plexico not practicing a whole season and just keeps going out there and dominating?
You know, one of my favorite Plax
I
plays
do.
ever, probably
I
besides
do.
the Super Bowl. My favorite Plax play ever besides the Super Bowl, I think it was the first year they got him. It was Giants Jets, probably 2007, because they played also in 11. They play every 4 years, I think. And he caught a little swing pass towards what I'll call the top of the screen, the left side, at like the 50-yard line. And he stiff arms this Jets D-back, and he puts him in the ground. There's just no one else to beat. And he floored it, man. He looked fast as hell, like a 50-yard touchdown down the sidelines. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. And then he went to the Jets, right?
Yeah, he did.
All right, so where are we at with this Giants team, fellas? What's going to happen? What's best case scenario? What's worst case scenario?
Best case scenario is the Giants trade down and still get Simmons and a tackle. Best case scenario.
It was a foot injury in the season. 146 in the full season. Yes, I hear you, Stanley. Foot injury.
Make up for that pick they lost with Leonard Williams, and get an extra second or something like that. So you get another impact player. That's what I'm hoping for. I have saw rumors where Jacksonville wanted to trade up to 4 because they wanted Simmons, and they would almost have to give up the 9 and the 20.
And Yannick.
Well, no, the Yannick one, I would love for that to happen as well. If Jacksonville wants to trade up, give us Yannick. We go down to 9, and we get probably a second or a third on top of it.
Done deal. Yeah, I would
Done deal.
RP. Yeah.
Yo, who do you guys want me to trade with right now? What I'm gonna do?
Team, go San Diego.
San Diego. I can get that 71. That's it. I'm gonna take it.
Only 71.
Yeah, they won't give me.
You've done it so many times, you know the trade.
They won't give me that 37.
He knows if it's gonna go through or not already.
They
Go with Jacksonville. Go with Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. We're gonna get an OT2 probably then. What do you think the Giants might actually do though? You think that's realistic? I'm trying to be like real here.
Yeah, it'd be in the top 10, and they would still get a tackle.
All right. So for Jacksonville, I could try to get 42. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Let's see. You want to try to get, or for Jacksonville, if I go with the 4 for the 9, you think I can get the 20 or the 42?
I would.
I'll try for the 20. It's not gonna happen.
The computer's not gonna go try give you the 20.
They're not. I tried it.
In real life, the 20 is possible. We go for the 42.
Let's see here. Accepted. So now that's it. I'm not going to do more than one trade because that's unrealistic. So now I'll go back to the sim. Let's resume this draft. Damn, yo. This draft went a little wild, guys. Simmons is still here at 9. So is Becton and Wills.
See, I think at 9, you can't turn down Simmons.
But that means you're not going to get a good offensive tackle. Marco, what should I do?
I think you go Simmons because I think you probably get a Josh Jones or an Ezra Cleveland in the second round.
Marco, what should I do at 9? Isaiah Simmons, Becton.
At 9, what was the other one you added up?
No, I got 9 and 42. Simmons is still here at 9. Offensive line is Wills and Becton.
I go with Simmons.
Fuckers. All right, I'll take Simmons. Fine. Now I got to go 36. Who's left? Now I got to hold for offensive. This is where you guys are going to screw yourselves.
Because now Ruiz?
Now it's Cesar Ruiz, and the next best offensive tackle is Isaiah Wilson from Georgia. Now, what do? Take the best remaining tackle or take the best
I take
center
the center.
all over?
The center has more control of the offensive line than anybody.
Marco?
Center.
All right.
You
All right.
Good center.
All right. No, we haven't addressed the pass rush. Now I'm at 42.
We did. We took Simmons. That's pass rush.
It's not a pass rusher. Are you serious? He's going to put. All right. We'll wrap it up after this. Now I got Aquara, who's way overrated in my opinion. I got Fulton, Hamler, Higgins. I got Aquara, Terrell Lewis, Cushenberry. I don't need him. I can go D-back. Zack Baun, they have ranked at 56. So, I mean, are you kidding me? I got to take Zack Baun. But it's just not realistic.
No, but
this would be the greatest
lineman would be left? What offensive linemen are left?
I didn't even look, bro. I'm taking Zack Baun. You guys maybe take Simmons. I'm taking Zack Baun. Now
we're not. We got our center.
We got a center.
We got our pass rush, and we got a linebacker core set.
The next offensive tackle on the board is for us picking at 99.
Where do they have Cleveland, and where do they have Josh Jones?
I don't know. I already drafted. I can't see their rankings anymore. Where do they have them going?
Yeah, or did Josh Jones already go? And
Josh Jones went at 29 to Houston. Cleveland went 32. That's why we were picking so crappy. We were picking like the 7th guy. But, I mean, dude, how happy would I be with this? Even if they don't get a tackle. First 3 picks. If the Giants got Simmons, Ruiz, and Baun, are you kidding me? I'd be thrilled with that, even though there's no offensive tackle.
True.
Marco,
Simmons,
Ruiz, and Baun, and we're picking in our 4th round now. Would you say, all right, you know what? We're not going to get a good tackle. Screw it. We'll load up everything else except tackle.
Yeah, or is it the 3rd round compensatory?
3rd compensatory. If we went Simmons, Ruiz, Baun, would you say, you know what? It's not our year for tackle. Why even try to stopgap it? Let's just do tackle next year, and we'll just load up on other shit. Or do you say, let's get a tackle at 99?
I would call up the Redskins and literally see what they want. And
I could propose a trade.
Let's get a left tackle. Let's get a left tackle.
What do you mean? Call up the Redskins. I propose a trade?
Yeah, get Trent Williams.
To get Trent Williams.
You can't do that on here.
They're not there yet.
So what do you think about Jack Driscoll, Robert Hunt? We don't even know these guys.
Hunt's good.
Speak for yourself. I know all about Hunt.
No, you don't. We got a safety here. The best player on the board left at 99 is number 80, Ashton Davis, the safety from Cal. Willie Gay Jr. is on here. My boy Jonathan Grenard is up here.
Look, you already got the pass rush.
The 4th best pass rusher in the draft is available at 99, fellas.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
but the problem is how many linebackers do you want on this team?
It's such good value.
He wants linebackers like Gettleman wants defensive tackles.
I won't take him, but if he's here at 110 and 11 picks, he's mine. So what should I do? Offensive tackle?
I would take Hunt.
Take Hunt.
No one's taking a wide receiver?
Well, who's left? Van Jefferson, Colin Johnson, KJ Hill.
I don't like any of them.
You don't like any of them? You're falling asleep there, Marco?
Yeah.
All right. Robert Hunt, they have at 153. Jack Driscoll from Auburn, they have at 126. Kind of the big jump. Should I take Driscoll?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Seems like letting you pick whoever you want on your team, huh?
I took Simmons first, you bastards. And I took Ruiz second. I don't want to hear you crap. We're in this hole because of you. Okay?
You had to take Simmons at 9.
Now.
So when Will does his press conference after, he's like, it wasn't my fault.
No, it wasn't.
So what position
if it works out well, I will take credit.
What position do you guys want next? Can you read this?
Yes. 110. I didn't like any of the receivers. They're all gone.
They're still there. All right, we'll take a receiver. We've got. You don't want anything in the secondary? You guys aren't dying for secondary?
I don't think we.
Right. So we got Simmons, which is sick. Ruiz, which is sick. Baun, which is unrealistic and sick. We got an offensive tackle. Who knows? We'll see. You don't want to go secondary? You want to try going receiver?
Maybe he's there at 56 because of his, walk down pee-pee.
He used to be 51, so maybe they adjusted it today, honestly. What about tight end? Are we feeling what's his face anymore? I almost called him Aaron Hernandez. That's not good.
No, that's not good.
You don't want KJ Hill because he's short, right? All Giants fans are saying they want tall wide receivers.
That's what we need. We have a bunch of short guys.
Yo, you guys know what I don't like about these? Like when you go to like Draft Network and stuff. Anyone outside of the first round, they just rip on them. Like you read about these guys, like they're number 3, number 4 player at their position. And they're like, could be a developmental player later on in his career. I'm like, what? Like the number 5 wide receiver, they're like, could be a number 4 if he plays well on special teams. I'm like, what's going on here?
Wait, didn't they rank Odell? What was he in his receiver class? They had him at like 5 or 6, right?
No, he must have been top 3, no?
No, they had Mike Evans. Who else was in that wide receiver class? I think he was 4 or 5.
Remember, everybody wanted Ebron.
Oh, maybe that's because I'm putting Ebron in there. Yeah, that's right.
Everybody wanted Ebron.
I took a receiver. You guys can wrap this up if you want.
Sammy Watkins was in that draft as well.
Watkins.
Watkins was rated number 1 by everybody.
There was
the
someone
Giants
else.
even said after the fact when they drafted Odell, they had Sammy Watkins number 1.
There was someone else though. There was another wide receiver that was.
Am I
thinking of
in that draft class, it was Watkins, it was Mike Evans, Kelvin Benjamin was in that draft.
Gettleman's boy.
Yeah. Big ass wide receiver. We give him on our team now.
Get him back. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm head nodding.
Let's do it. I'm enjoying the great draft right here. I'm just real happy. I'm just real happy about it. Do you guys know about Evan Weaver, by the way?
What's up with Evan Weaver?
Evan Weaver, the inside linebacker from Cal.
I've heard of him.
We'll talk about him next time. He is if this was 1975, he'd be the number 1 friggin' pick. But he's like going to be like a 4th, 5th rounder because he's just this big, bare, white, like he's like J.J. Watt at middle linebacker. He can't cover that well, but he just like
B.J. Goodson
plays the run. He just like pursues people. He just hits people. He's rolling on the ground. I just want this guy late in the draft, bro. He's like Dick Butkus' son or something.
And there's another linebacker. We're gonna have so many linebackers there. Will be in GM.
I don't like linebacker, but in a 3-4, in a 3-4, the outside linebackers are your pass rushers, which is why I want guys like Baun and Grenard. So I'll leave it at that.
All right. So I wanted to thank everyone for jumping in and sticking with us through all the technical difficulties, because everyone is jamming on the internet because no one has anything to do, and